Hey guys, I'm Katie from Mitzik Creek Farm. Welcome back to our channel. We just finished Sydney's graduation party. That has been the big goal that we've been pushing for, to get all of these outbuildings ready. And it was a good goal on the long range plan to get our stone building ready for a retail space, get the greenhouse done, get the high tunnel cleaned up, get this whole area down here done and ready. And now that her party is over, I have the time to show you guys around and show you everything that we did. So I thought I'd take you on a quick little tour and show you all of these buildings. Now, her party went till like 8 last night, so or that's what time all the family and everything left. So things aren't 100% cleaned up down here, and we have family coming pretty soon to pick up their tables and chairs and stuff, so I wanted to show you before we took everything down. So we are here in front of the stone coop, and we had these big spools. We have 2 of them here. Somebody gave us for the goats, and I said let's save them and we can use them for stand-up tables. It ended up working really well. We put a big umbrella in this one, and it worked really well. We had lots of people outside, even though it was cool. We had lots of people outside enjoying being out here, and then the picnic tables. So there were lots of people here. We had a stone-fired pizza person come, and they set up their stuff here along the side of the fence. Parking was here and all along the driveway, both directions. And so we had stone-fired pizza, and then on those 2 tables we had veggies, salad, and fruit salad. And then over here you can see my pumpkin washing sink. My dad put it on wheels and built that cool frame for me. So we had pop in that, and then we had a potting table that I have down in the greenhouse. We had that, and we put glass mason jars for lemonade and water on that. So it worked out really well. The drinks were here, the food was there. We had the garbage right up against the wall, and it was an excellent flow for people. We also had seating in the stone coop, so I'm going to show you that. And then I have to show you the high tunnel, because that was the hit of the party because it was so cold. People loved going in there and sitting. Before we go in there, I'm going to show you guys the bathroom. Now, I did take some videos of building this, but it'll be a bit before I get all those pieces edited and put together. So this is the porta potty, privy, outhouse, whatever you want to call it, that we built. This has been in the works for the stone coop, so getting this done before Sydney's graduation was wonderful, because then we didn't have 200 people going and using our house bathroom. So this is all going to match the greenhouse and all the buildings down here. It's going to have the black trim with the dark stain on it. Doors got really expensive, so this is just a 28 inch door that we had somewhere. We found it here on the property, and on the inside it's framed, so actually this is all handicapped accessible. So once the cost of doors goes down a little bit, or I save up the money to buy a 36 inch door, we will do that. But for now, this works great. But this is minus the width of the door, handicapped accessible. We did not need to use it for any wheelchairs or anything yesterday, but everybody talked about it. They loved it, and it's so nice and bright and clean in there. So let me show you. Okay, so this window opens, and I had plants here, but it froze last night, so they took them out and had them covered somewhere else. But this opens if we need to, just like the greenhouse windows. We put this window film on it, stained glass window film, so that nobody could see in the bathroom. But you can see here, there's the toilet, and it's really nice because there's no electricity in here, so we had greenhouse plastic as the roof, and so it's nice and bright in here. So that was wonderful. It worked out really well, and I have a feeling the company that makes those privy tanks and seats all in one will be getting some business from people attending our party. So let's go here in the stone coop. We got it finished, so that feels great. So let me show you what we have going on in here. So we set up, you can see it's all painted, and we set up desserts on these tables. Her cake was there. We had a whole bunch of Owen's mom made mini pies, and so we had all that set up so people could. A friend of ours made her a gorgeous quilt, and so we hung that up there, and then we had cards and gifts right there. And then we have folding tables and chairs in here. And then here on this wall, she had more pictures and stuff. This is the garden or potting table that I had, that we had two containers. One had lemonade, one had ice water, and then we had a whole bunch of glass mason jars. These are the plates and forks and knives that we used. These are all made out of birch, and they are fully compostable. So what we did is we had a compost bin, and when the bin got full, Owen would bring it over and dump it in the compost pile, cover it up, and we are not finding little plastic pieces everywhere. So that was wonderful. I'm so glad we did that, because it feels like after parties and stuff, there's tons of broken fork pieces or forks, knives, spoons everywhere, just kind of on the ground, and you're always constantly finding them after a big event. And I did not want that. I wanted something that if they did go on the ground, they could compost easily, so that in years I'm still not finding things stuck everywhere. So this is the knife, the birch knife, and here's what the forks looked like. So that worked out really well. We have hardly any garbage left over after that. So we have to pick up her pictures and that kind of stuff yet, but we're tired today, so that can wait till tomorrow, and we can come down and get everything finished cleaning up and get everything put away. But the inside of the stone coop is done for now, and it feels wonderful. Out here, we touched up all of the windows with staining, and we screened in the old chicken runs and framed those in so that they all match. On the inside, we put in, you can see there's like a white wall or something. They're actually boards that are on hinges, so if we ever want to, we're thinking it would be warm the day of the party, but it wasn't. We can hinge those, clip them open, and it gives amazing airflow in there, because these windows don't open. It's just the front and the back door. So that worked out well. We didn't need them for the party, but it is going to be really nice to have in the summer. We got my fence put up and finished. Look at all those beautiful tulips in there. There's a couple daffodils left, and we're starting, I don't remember what this purple one is, but we are starting to get a bunch of these guys. So that looked absolutely beautiful. The one thing I forgot was to cut the tops of the posts off. I don't think anybody noticed, but that was like the one thing that I forgot to do. But considering we had a party for 200 people, if that's the only thing I forgot to do, I feel like we did really good. Back behind the fence, you'll notice we have big old silage tarp. That is our compost pile. After taking my permaculture course, I realized that it was vital to keep growing at the rate that we are, that we needed a good compost pile. And instead of hauling things out from the animal stalls in the winter and piling it in where it was most convenient at the time, to come up with a very easy to access compost pile that we can access from down here where we need it after it's already formed into compost, but also that we can access it with the tractor or four-wheeler and whatever we're cleaning out the stalls with. So we were able to get that big compost pile going, and we were able to tarp it and everything. So when the compost bin from up at the garbage area got full, Owen was able to just walk it over and dump it, cover it up, and go back to the party. So that worked out really nice, and this in the long run will be amazing to have right there because it'll be right in our garden area. Down at the greenhouse here, didn't have time to finish putting on the gutters on this side, but look at the front is done. Need to paint the trim on this door yet, but that isn't a big priority. That's an aesthetic thing. It will look gorgeous though when that's painted black. And then we got the gutter and the trim on all of those windows there. So that looks nice and finished. Man, look how beautiful that is. We also did get our tree order on the Saturday that Sid graduated, which was last week. So we got 3 more apple trees planted, but then we have all of these trees down here that I've had to pot, and a whole bunch of those are hilled in on our compost pile. This is a pile of compost that we ordered, but I just hilled everything in for right now. Those are some Christmas tree seedlings because there weren't enough hours in the day. So all of these things are things that need to go back up in the high tunnel now that the party is over. But it worked out so nice having this. It felt like things were finally coming together, and I'm so happy with how this place looks because we put so many hours of work and everything coming into this. And so it was nice to see this vision that I had years ago finally pull together in the last month or so. We built this nice little stair out the back. That was very handy. We had the front and the back door open and people walked through all day. And now here in the high tunnel is what was amazing. So we had this area completely set up with lawn furniture. And since it was cold, it was nice and warm in here, and everybody seemed to love that. Now I have all of these plants, I've mentioned it before, that I started for Sid's party. And so all of those were the table pieces or the centerpieces for all the tables that are here. So it was really nice because I didn't want balloons because I don't want the animals I didn't want a chance for an animal to eat a balloon. So we used all of these flowers for the decorations. There's more in the back. We sent a bunch home with people as well. But every single table had a centerpiece of a beautiful flower basket, even outside and in the stone coop. Now, because we added the shade cloth, if it would have been hot and sunny, this would have been nice and cool in here, and it would have been a lot cooler than outside because the shade cloth is 50% shade. The nice thing about the white shade cloth that we have is that it's still bright in here, and so it doesn't feel like you're in this shaded area. So that was a relief because we were able to plan on using this regardless of the weather. It just happened to be cold, so it worked out really well. Normally we can't plant until Memorial Day weekend. I think they say it's the full moon, the last full moon of May or something. I don't know. I've always gone by Memorial Day weekend, and every once in a while we get a freeze after that. Our last frost date is June 11th or 13th. But because of everything going on, I wanted to get my tomato plants in the ground. So I did. And we bought frost cover this year, so that kind of saved me quite a bit. So I was able to get all my tomatoes in the ground. I'm just doing this much this year. There's 30 some here. And I'm not doing the 100 that we did last year. That was way too many. So I'm just doing this row. So we've been able, you can see the frost cover back there because it did get really cold last night. We've been putting frost cover on it. Here's the rest of the plants. I just showed you some up front. We had, I think, about 30 baskets. Might have been a little more than 30. Some we had hanging from in here. The rest were on tables and on the ground and all that kind of stuff. And that was wonderful because it feels like spring is so late here. Last year was really hot and dry. And this year it's been cold and wet and rainy. We had about a week, maybe 2 weeks, towards the beginning of the month where it was nice and warm and in the 80s, and then it's been very cold since. So it was nice to have that feeling of spring. You can see my peas are getting nice and tall back there. My plants are all doing good. Under the frost cover back there are loofahs. We already have baby loofahs, so that is wonderful. So nobody bothered those. It was fun to have everybody look at them. That the people who are interested in gardening, they liked seeing how I do it. And we are so happy with how we have this set up. People loved being in here. They loved that it feels like you're outside, but yet they were able to stay dry and warm and just sit and visit with their friends. So we got everything done in time for Sid's party, and it worked out great. So I just wanted to show you, we're going to be packing up all these tables and chairs and getting them out of here so that we can start putting plants in. But I wanted to show you guys how well it worked out. It was amazing. We had 200 people here. It did not feel like it had 200 people. Everybody was able to spread out. People who wanted to be outside could be outside. People who were cold could come in here and warm up. So it worked out great. That is it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.